My dear student, today I wanted to give you an information on the effectiveness of Edgar cone of classification. Introduction. Teaching is a process by which a more mature person shares his or her experiences to less mature ones to bring about relatively permanent change in behavior of the latter. Teaching, therefore, involves an intimate contact between the one who teaches and the other to be taught. For successful teaching-learning process, it is important for a teacher to have an idea of what to teach, why to teach, how to teach, when to teach, and where to teach. In an attempt to answer this question, the subject matter field, which has been classified and systematized into study units in a textbook, is considered as an answer to the question of what to teach. And imparting information to bring about desirable behavioral changes in learner is an answer to the question of why to teach. The teacher's ability to answer the remaining question will differentiate between a good teacher and a mere teacher. Edgar Dale, April 27, 1900 to March 8, 1985, was a United States educationist and professor of education at university who made a very successful effort when he theorized that learners retain more information by what they do as opposed to what is heard, read, or observed. His research led to the development of cone of experience, which he designed as a pyramid model in his 1946 book, Audio-Visual Methods in Teaching. It was merely designed as a visual aid to help explain the interrelationship of the various types of audiovisual material as well as their individual positions in the learning process, which also serve fruitful in answering the question of how to teach, when and where. Let us have a description of Edgar Dale cone of experience. Dale cone of experience is a pictorial device in a pyramid form used as a visual model that is composed of 11 stages, which are further divided into 3 levels. Starting from concrete experience at the bottom of the cone, then it becomes more and more abstract as it reaches the peak of the cone. The various stages from the bottom are illustrated and described here. Number 1. Direct purposeful experiences. These are first-hand experiences which serve as the foundation of learning. In this stage, the learner learns by doing things by himself or by herself. Learning happens through actual hands-on experiences. This stage explains and proves one of the principles in the selection and use of teaching strategies. The more senses that are involved in learning, the more and the better the learning will be. The next stage is contrived experiences. In this stage, representative models and mock-ups of reality are being used in order to provide an experience that are close to reality. This stage is very practical and it makes learning experience more accessible to the learner. In this stage, it provides more concrete experiences, even if not as concrete as direct experiences, that allows visualization that fosters better understanding of the concept. The next stage is dramatized experiences. In this stage, learners can participate in a reconstructed experiences that could give them better understanding of the event or a concept. To dramatize experiences, learners they become more familiar with the concept as they immerse themselves to the as-if situations. The next stage is demonstrations. It is a visualized explanations of important fact, idea, or process to the use of pictures, drawings, film, and other types of media in order to show how things are done and facilitate clear and effective learning. The next stage is field trips. This level extends the learning experience through excursions and visit on the different places that are not available inside the classroom. To this level, the learning experience will not be limited to the classroom setting, but rather extended in a more complex environment. The next stage is the exhibits. The level of study trips is followed by exhibits. It is somewhat a combination of some of the first level in the cone. Actually, exhibits are a combination of several mock-ups and models. Most of the time, exhibits are experiences that is for your eyes only, but some exhibits include sensory experiences which could be related to direct purposeful experiences. In this stage, meanings and ideas are presented to the learners in a more abstract manner. These experiences allow students to see the meanings and relevance of things based on the different pictures and representation presented. The next two stages, educational television and motion pictures, are clubbed together in one particular stage. Here, educational television brings immediate interaction with environment from around the world and edit an event to create clearer understanding than if experience actual event firsthand. It is a device that can be used by a group of learners that could enhance and extend learning experience. Then we have motion pictures. Here it can omit unnecessary or unimportant material in the educational television. It is used to slow down a fast process. Viewing, hearing and seeing experience is provided. It can recreate events with simplistic drama that even slower students can grasp. The next is audio recordings or photos. These are visual or auditory devices which may be used by an individual or a group and is helpful to students who cannot deal with the motion or pace of the real event or television. Example is a magazine, listening to all radio broadcasts and listening to music. Then we have the 10th stage, pictures or visual symbols. It refers to the use of words or printed materials which resemble the object under study. Example, the word whale. Upon reading or hearing the word whale, the learner can form a mental image about it. The next stage is text or verbal symbols. They are not like the ideas of objects for which they stand. They usually do not contain visual clues to their meanings. Written words fall under this category, and it may be a word for a concrete object, example book, an idea, that is the freedom of speech, and specific principle, that is the principle of balance. The 11 stages are again further classified into 3 levels, which include inactive level, that is the first level, which is a direct experience that comprises of direct purposeful experience, contrived experience, and dramatized experience, as already discussed earlier. Then the second level is iconic level, which is a pictorial experiences, which include the demonstration, study trips and exhibits, as well as educational television, motion pictures, and recordings, radio, still pictures. Then we have the last level, that is the symbolic level, which is a highly abstract experiences and include the visual symbols and the verbal symbols. Now let us come to the importance of Dale cone of experience. Dale cone of experience charts the average retention rate for various methods of teaching. The further we progress down the cone, the greater the learning and the more information is likely to be retained. Generally, we remember 90% of what we do, 70% of what we say and write, 50% of what we hear and see, 30% of what we see, 20% of what we hear, and 10% of what we read. Dale cone of experience also suggests that when choosing an instructional method, it is important to remember that involving students in the process will strengthen the knowledge retention, and the more sensory channels possible in interacting with a resource, the better chance that many students can learn from it. According to Dale, the arrangement in the cone is not based on its difficulty, but rather based on abstraction and on the number of senses involved. The experiences in each stages can be mixed and are interrelated that fosters more meaningful learning. Now let us come to the effectiveness of Edgar Dale's cone of experience. Dale cone of experience is a tool to help instructors make decisions about resources and activities. The cone is an answer to the question which the instructor generally asks, like, where will the students' experience with these instructional resources fit on the cone? How far is it removed from real life? What kind of learning experiences do you want to provide in the classroom? How does these instructional resources augment the information supplied by the textbook? What and how many senses can students use to learn these instructional materials? And does the instructional material enhance learning? So we can conclude our today's class by saying that the contribution of Edgar Dale in creating the cone of experience, also known as experiential learning, is a landmark in the field of education process. The knowledge and understanding of the cone and the ability to effectively implement it will render a great service to the teachers' community in achieving the educational objectives in time. Thank you.